All right, time now for this week's edition of Recruiting Hot Topics. In for Zach, Anthony Amy, joined by Michael Carvel, the recruiting blogger with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And Michael, let's get right down to it. How does Georgia's surprising upset loss at Vanderbilt affect recruiting for the Bulldogs?
Well, it certainly doesn't help when you lose to Vanderbilt, but I don't think it hurts as much as most people would think. And we touched on this topic a little bit when UGA had the big win over LSU at home last month, and I don't think there's many, if any, recruits who pick a college based on the results of one game, good or bad, well, unless it's the national championship game. And I think more than anything, the fan base is hurting right now, Anthony, and I think that will calm down if they beat Florida.
All right, what about all the crazy internet rumors out there that Todd Grantham, Georgia's defensive coordinator, might be on the hot seat, for goodness sake? How much does that impact recruiting?
Well, you know, college assistants come and go every year. That's just part of the business. In my opinion, the main thing the kids look at is who is the guy at top. At Georgia, that's Mark Richt, and he's been successful there with only one losing record in 13 seasons. In my opinion, Mark Richt will be at Georgia as long as he wants to be. And I think the kids know that Georgia assistants, they come and go, and they'll be replaced by quality guys. But most importantly, to the kids, Mark Richt will be there overseeing the program indefinitely. So there's a lot of stability from that perspective.
And when you look at kids, I mean, obviously they flip-flop with their decisions all the time, but something that has to have some effect and impact on their minds is the fact that Todd Grantham got so many guys to the NFL this past season. So you would think that would weigh on their minds in the positive for Todd Grantham. All right, let's focus in on one of Georgia's top recruits for this year's class, Dietrich Dukes, the star linebacker at Tucker. Tigers are undefeated, ranked #1 in Class 5A in the state of Georgia. What do you like so much about Dietrich?
Well, UGA did a real good job circling back around on Dietrich. If you remember, he committed early to Louisville, and UGA, they always had interest, and when they missed on some other linebacker targets, they took a closer look at Dukes, and they really liked what they saw. The guy's built like a tank. He has good feet, and he's extremely physical. Georgia flipped him from Louisville over the summer, and I think the Bulldogs are about as happy as getting Dietrich as they are any of the team's defensive recruits. And like you said, Anthony, he's a big reason Tucker's off to such a great start.
And finally, Michael, Georgia Tech recently landed a commitment from Andrew Marshall, the offensive lineman from West Forsyth High School. What exactly is your evaluation of Andrew?
Well, there were a lot of colleges that liked Andrew Marshall, including both Auburn and South Carolina. And with some of those schools, it came down to a numbers game with the scholarships. You've got to give a lot of credit here to Georgia Tech. They came in late for Andrew, but they really laid out the red carpet, or the yellow carpet, I guess you could say. And Georgia Tech closed this one in a hurry, and they got a good one. And Anthony, I think Andrew Marshall is a kid who can help Georgia Tech at guard or center as early as next season.
He's the man in the know. As always, Michael Carvel, we appreciate you joining us. And we'll see you back here again next week for Recruiting Hot Topics.